Welcome back to TIMBERBORN. My name is Nilaus and we are here with our 1.0 release build. And as I was saying at the end of last episode, I was saying, hey, we're probably going to see a bad tide. So we now have 2 or 3 days until the bad tide hits. I have started sort of between sessions just cleaning up a few things. And as always, when you clean up a few things, you end up just building a massive amount of just ghostly infrastructure that wants to be built. There was a little bit of a problem with the content here. There still is, apparently. Let's take you out and change you over to the kohlrabi. There we go. That was the wrong one. There. And this one should be kohlrabi because it's closer. And then I have this one down here being the fermented cassava. And then this one up here that we're building will then be it. So what we're working on now is actually building this ladder. So we can tap this amount of wood. It's not a lot, but we need to get up there anyway. Then I built some storage for our gears and planks. They need some storage nearby. We're still working on this ladder up here. I'm also working my way over to this location so that we can eventually, inevitably untap this one. Because if we follow this out here, then if we look at this one, this is going to be one of the projects today is that get the ancient Aquifer drill up and running. It's not going to be running very well when it's a bad tide, but we can do the infrastructure to it. So this is one thing. Surviving the bad tide is another thing. Getting haulers up. Getting some, let's see, very important thing. That's under storage. We need to get these going here. Very urgently. Yes, please. So this one, I will prioritize it higher than anything else. And then just get it there. Because we need, I don't think the bad tide will be very long, but we need more. We have quite a few beavers. I've even disabled one of these, so we have 5 active. I don't know how much that gives because it depends on their lifespan. But let's start working on this one. What I really want to do is I want to use these water wheels so we can have 2 water wheels, one here and one here. That's going to be the intention. So we are going to do, and I'm going to do this with levees here, and we're going to cut this across so this water will come out, and I think we'll go like this. Good. And there will be a lot of interaction here. So I will need to hook up the levees back into this one. And I will also need to get that. And then that, I think, is where we want it. And this is another 200, which I do have. So that will be here. Insert. Insert. We are not going to build this just yet. Then I'm going to get that one over here so that they can... And then we're going to get... let's see. Oh, we also need the vertical power shift. I love the new way of doing the power. So nice. So much better. It's there. And there. And then we'll cut one of these out because I need to be able to get in and actually build it. Then... over from here, we are also going to get a ladder down here, I guess. And we're going to kill this one because I don't want that to be made. I also don't think I want this one to be made just yet because I want to make sure that we can go down here. So this thing is the first thing we want to do. All of this, because that will hook up these 2 locations into this, which means that it'll be self-feeding when the water is running, and then we're going to be putting a manual drill. Then eventually we want to hook this up to the other power and the other power, but that's a lot of planks needed to get it all the way over. So that's not the first thing. Okay, so now it's very close to the end, to the bad tide starting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable this one. It's the super high priority. We hope that I have time enough. I'm actually going to be skipping the break here. I'm also marking these 3 for emptying so that they can be put in here. And then we're going to be sort of babysitting this one until it gets there. Come on, get some water in. Good. So this one is now pouring water in, topping it up. And as we want to get... let's see. I actually want this to close off. Yeah, just before it gets in, we want it to close off. So we can close it off now. Then this one will fill up internally until the seep is closing. And you, hopefully, we see the fact that there is some water in here. And where are you? You are coming in. And you're still bringing water in. I really didn't want you to bring water in. I really wanted you to start pouring the water in. There we go. So now you're standing in front. That means that it cannot put more water in here. And that means this seep is now disabled. And then as we get here, now we can also turn this down. There we go. We'll go down to the normal. And then the bad tide started. The bad tide isn't going to do anything here, but we do want to make sure that there is someone sitting here just topping it up all the time in the rate that it evaporates. No more than that, just the rate it evaporates. While we're still here, there's another thing that we definitely need to get going, and that's a hauling post. So we can, well, get some haulers out here. That's super important. I will also need to bump that up in priority so that it actually gets done. Because all of this is normal priority, so if I want anything done before we do the massive work, then I have to do that. There's also, like, I've taken all of these far away locations here and turned down the priority, because that's not what we should be doing now. We have tapped this one. So as we're in the bad tide, you can see bad tide doesn't even do anything to us right now, because we keep topping up this seep here with water. So now we have some haulers in the build, and these are really important. They have higher building capacity or carrying capacity, 100%. So we should set always the water, because then the water can continue to work all the time. So that's the first thing I want to do. Then I want to do these things over here, because they are also really annoying. I want to take those in with haulers, because they're a little bit far away. So let's also try to do this. Actually, eventually we want everything everything done by haulers, but right now this is like something like farming is not important, because they have plenty of time. They're allocated to farming, and then they can go back and forth. But I really want my gear workshop and my plank workshops to work all the time and not sort of run around looking for materials. There's an interesting thing about this map, is that everywhere on the map we have these things here. These are bad tide drains. They are empty most of the time, but it says spews out bad water during bad tide. So you can look at the map now, and it's completely full of bad water. So everywhere we have bad water coming out, like here, which is just only coming out through the bad water. So what we actually need to do is make sure that this bad tide here flows out. It flows out here and goes off the map. That's good. This one, it's also coming out here, just flowing out. So all of it needs to flow out. Here's something that flows out. But this is actually a problem, because that means this is going to be stale and continue to be bad tide everywhere. There's also bad tide here. So eventually this will drain out when the bad tide hits. But that means we actually want this to be opened as well. And that means this path here also has to be done. We can see we're getting started on this, but yeah, it's getting there. What we really have to be managing is the water, because I have only 200 in our storage, and I still have 4 days left. And you can see the level here is dropping dangerously low. I'd love to have a measuring stick just to see what it is, but I've turned off one of them so we don't over pump this. These have 6 days of drought resistance, so even if we do this, what about this? It doesn't say anything about how, it just says drought resistance. So even if we empty this pool, then it should be okay. I think actually I want to turn off one more so we can drain our stockpile. It doesn't matter if we end at 0. We just don't want to be ending this one with empty so that everything else dries out. Oops, it happened. We drained our little teeny tiny reservoir. So we have 168 remaining for the last 2 days. It's not great. Do we see these will die in 3 days? That's fine. This will die in 2 days. So that's actually not great. The kohlrabi might be an issue. But let's see if we can't make it through this long drought and then top up. We now have better reservoirs, so we can pump more aggressively during the during the water season. There we go. We now have this one, and then immediately we let the water out. Hurry up, get the water in here. And some of these got saved, some of them just died. Yeah, some of them died, but you know, it's actually pretty good. That it cut it a little bit close. There we go. We need to top up our water reservoirs pretty quickly. Hopefully not so quick that, the seep can't keep up. And then this one will now be closed off onto the next bad tide. So this one's only active during bad tide, just to top up. So that was a very neat way of surviving a bad tide, I think. The haulers, they're getting busy. I want to take like a full set of 10 haulers. Haulers just the ones that really make things just so much smoother, because they means that everything can operate. So I've also been doing something up here. Basically, this little dude here has been working on this area because oops, like that. Because I want the storage there, and I want it here. There. And then I want to now start more actively getting this one. There. And you will now be... Yeah, so now we should also start on the metal slowly. This one is coming along slowly, but it is. Let's start increasing our industrial base a little bit. This is here, and what I want to do is I actually want to have one more of these and one more of these. That means one more plank and one more gear. Then I have this metal shop, which I can place here. Yes, 150. And then that just happens to be sort of a nice line out here. This also means that when I need to get the power out of this area, I can actually get it from here and then go on the belt. I go here, and go up and then link it together. Easy peasy, right? Easy peasy. Let me actually prepare that by building this one and then building that as a vertical shaft, because this one will be a vertical shaft. Also, just interesting about this one. Yeah, once this doesn't really do much. This here, and then we can take all of this out as well, because I want to have this location as the manual treadmill for getting this kick started. So we're in a pretty good period right now. We do have, for some reason, a little bit of a problem with actually filling up our water barrels here. And I guess it's because you need one of these for every 10, I guess. So I had to build a fourth one, and hopefully that will help. What I also wanted to do was actually start finding some things that will make them more happy. So let's get this one for some showers. We can get this shower here. There, and maybe that one as well. Or maybe this one isn't there actually. There, and then, so we can get some showers going. Then what else would be nice to have? The rooftop terrace, we got that. The scratches, they're dirt cheap as well. We'll take some scratches as well. We can put those here. And then also some decoration. A lantern is also cheap. And that will just be something that, the way I've structured it so that all of the housing has to go through here. That means they have to go through this intersection, which means they will be affected by anything that affects this area, which is why I'm building it here. And let's get these ones a little bit further so that it becomes before the all of this is completed. Damn, we have another bad tide already. Okay, well, they are coming in hot, these bad tides. We need to top up the water, though. That's kind of crazy how this is only very, very slowly building up. I hope this is going to be enough, because we do have more people. I have turned off 3 of these, so our population is somewhat constant here around this, around 40-something. I don't feel like we need to go further up just now. What's also important is that, well, this one should not activate, but if it activates, I definitely don't want it to be activating with pumping out bad tide, for sure. But it might be valuable also to get this one. We kind of started building it so that we can drop this off, so we can get this out here-ish. Yeah. And so it's time for us to start building these water wheels. These can be built from out here, so that should be fine. And this one also. So that gets us all of what we need here. And then the water wheels, they are pretty expensive. Lots and lots of planks. But we do have a lot of planks. So that's actually really nice how many planks we have. Great. And we also have 2 full, almost full barrels. A little bit a day before the next thing. So I'm kind of leaning towards getting an extra one. Because, you know, it might actually be necessary. Maybe not now, but later on it definitely will be necessary. As we are approaching the next here, we also have a milestone. We have accumulated 1.5, and there's a reason why I want to accumulate 1.5 is because of the number cruncher. Number cruncher is amazing, but it takes quite a lot. It takes 500 hamster power, but then it produces 10 every hour. It's insane how good it is. So this one we definitely want to get going, but I need the other here tapped first, and then I need to connect these two. And once I also have these 2 water wheels and then all of them connected, then we can just start plopping down some more of these number crunchers. But we're going to need to connect these 2, and I'm going to connect them up and over here. Bad tide started. Oh, and I forgot this one. So now we actually have a little bit of bad tide in here. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. We are definitely going to lean on our storage here. And then start taking some of this out, and so we don't empty this reservoir too early. This here, I was doing some silly things up here, and that's why I kind of got distracted. So I'm going to continue on this silliness here, and that was just going up. I was just kind of finding a way to get the minimum number of sort of going over and over, minimum amount of gears and planks to be used, and this seems to be it. Just missing a little bit of connection there. So these 2 will now be connected. That's very nice. And the work up here is continuing. Is this one getting anything? No, it's not getting anything. It must be because it's behind some other products. Look at this, actually. Look at how much wood we have available. Yeah, that's interesting. Here we go. We got the second of these water wheels. So now we are actually completely done here and ready. And we also got the large manual power wheel. I've also decided that, or figured out that we can actually set 2 of these up here so that they can harvest the water. They can, grab the water that's here and then fill up this one as fast as possible. And these will be working all the time during the non period. So it's just a matter of trying to get this one as full as possible, maybe even the second one. So if these are always working, great, that'll take some of the pressure off of this one. I've turned off all of the water pumps here because the water level is quite low. And with only 1.5 days, I just wanted to not run out. It's definitely not going to be a problem for these, even though these are the most drought less resistant than kohlrabi, but hey, not even a problem. And just now, with 0.5 days left, we see the drought hit. That's actually perfect timing, I think. So I'm pretty happy with this. Like, we run out of this very small reservoir just with 0.4 days left of the bad tide. So these will, of course, sort of die in 2 days, but that's not going to be a problem. What I actually do think I want to do is I want to sort of at least say that I'm not going to replant this, because I might need this for something else. I mean, I'll just put in some medical beds because I kind of forgot that injured doesn't get fixed with the teeth grinding. That's only chipped tooth that gets. But with more industry coming in, there's more chance of injuries. So why did I build the medical base as far away as possible? I don't know, but I did. And now we are, there we go, the bad side ended. That means we immediately turn you off and zoom this out. Whoosh, splash. And there might have been like a teeny tiny amount of bad tide in here, but that got diluted so much that it doesn't make a difference. And then we can see we're down to 200. That's actually pretty good. And then we activate all of this and all of these two as well. And then the most important one is actually that we get this going here. And come on, let's go in here. Yes, go, go, go. And water comes in. Water comes in. And as this one starts flowing slowly. Come on, slow, slow, slow. Slowly flow. Yes, please. All right, so now it's flowing. And then you should be able to stop, because this flow we'll easily be able to handle the 200 this one is requiring to keep pumping. So now we have 2 more water pumps. We have all sorts of good stuff. Actually, I really wanted to put some more water pumps. How many more water pumps could I put in? Just 1. Right? No, actually, I could put 2 more water pumps in if I really needed to. There we go. So now the next thing I want to do is this one. It's just going to be really careful not to sort of step into this water. So let's get this one prioritized so that we can get... let's demolish this one first. And then demolish... Yeah, let's do them one at a time. Because I don't want them accidentally to sort of get stuck on the other side. We are also building the connection now. We have this one. That means that this network here will be 800. And that means we can finally get our number cruncher. It's expensive, but it is absolutely a good investment. And then it goes into this corner. Gears, metal parts. This is the reason why we've been accumulating metal parts. Gears, 100 gears. It's expensive, but definitely worth it. So this one, should we just do a normal priority? Yeah, normal priority should actually be the next one in line. There we go. We are now tapping this one. And then as soon as that one gets done, then we're going to be tapping the next one. High priority. Wow, this takes forever to demolish this. Okay, well, we're going to wait for this to be demolished. There we go. Oh, and now, demolished. Good, and you go back. And then I can hit the other one for a demolish as well. So the point of this is that it drains the bad water out here. This means that I could actually set down here, and if I block this, you can see the bad water kind of want to leak this way, but I don't want it. I don't want it that way. So now there's sort of the competing pressure, but if I want to make sure, then I would just close this off so that this bad water goes that way. Or I could even, oh my god, there's already a drought. Or I could block this one off and lead the bad water that way. That might actually be better. Because that would mean this whole thing would be clean water. Yeah, that's probably a better idea. We are approaching the next drought. And we're actually somewhat healthy. Well, more than somewhat healthy. We're actually pretty healthy with everything. We're making one more big water barrel because, of course, we are. Oh, actually, I shouldn't be making this here. Oh, no. Because I should use this green area here for some wood plantation. Yes. Well, yeah. Yeah, I should have a forest. Well, maybe I could build a forest sort of balancing on the edge here, or like ideally it would be in this location. Let's see if in this location that would cover pretty much everything, but only pretty much. If I build it more on this side, then yeah. Well, I think I'm going to build it here. Because what I want to do is I want to say one thing I dislike with all my builds here. Oh, this is where all my resources are going. Is having disjoint power networks. You should never have that because there's then you have to have 2 things that can run out. You just want one network, and we're just also closing this off. So what I basically want to do is I want to bring in at level 1. Bring power in here, over here, and get up here to merge to that one. It's pretty intense in terms of how much we need for mainly the planks for this part here. But it's, yeah, it just has to happen. And I'm going to go directly over here so it stays a little bit up. And it goes over here, and then goes all the way over, and there we go. The drought started. And as the drought starts, I am going to drop these things. This is a 10-day drought, so I'm going to need to retain all the water I have here without taking anything out of it. So now we just have to rely on this 900 water we have and hope that's going to be enough as we continue here. That was one more missing, and it go up. And then it merges to that part. And so we just build all of this. This will be like the next big infrastructure build connecting the 2 power networks. And sort of that means once we've done that, we can actually say, okay, we have sort of made sure that we now can survive the bad tides, and we can We have power available everywhere. It's going to be really nice. So that will be the next big project to connect the two power networks. And here we are. We are finally... There we go. We have now connected the whole thing. That means this one will never be useful anymore. What this one has is, of course, only the 800 because that's what we get. This is always taking 500 and we only have 800. So when all the rest is working, then we have actually a deficit of power. That's too bad. So I didn't even think of that. But once these two are working, then it's going to be absolutely glorious. The only thing that we have a little bit of a concern about is that we have 200 water. I had to activate these two again. We still have 2 days left. And we have, let's see, I have this one built. It's the measurement, so it's 28 meters. So I wonder if we could sort of connect these two so that they would stop once it drops below a certain level. That would be kind of nice. So let's have a look at how this works. First, we would, for example, say that, let's say if it's lower than 20, when it's above 20.2 meters, then it's on. Then this one sends an on signal. You can see that there's a light on. We can actually, can we change the color? Yes, we can make it green. Yeah, there we go. So that's green because it's good. Then we can click the automate button and then select the depth sensor. And the depth sensor. There we go. That actually means that these two are now active. Let me actually also do that for this one. But then it'll be on paused. So I could have multiple depth sensors with different values, but right now I'm just going to see if we can drain it to... This one is now at 24.24. And as these start working, I'm actually going to automate this one as well. And also point it to... My God, this is easy. I'm so happy that there's no wires connection. Oh my God, why do the other games insist on having stupid wires? This is so much better. Oh man, thank you TIMBERBORN for making automation so at least for this level, like so easy. Like instead of sort of bouncing wires between these, like this is something Factorio came up with and now that's sort of the default. Did it stop? It stopped? No? Yeah, it flickers. You're off. On, off, on, off. Yeah, okay, so it's... Oh, this is confusing. It's okay. Hysteresis. It flickers. But anyway, now it's off, and all of these have turned off, and it's a blue pause button. This is really nice that it's not like the same. This is a manual pause, and this is an automation pause. Really nice. Really nice. That means we leave at least 20 centimeters of water here. That is amazing. Cool. All right. Well, we tried the first little bit of automation here. We're definitely going to do more, such as maybe turning this one off when there is a power measure. Let's see if we can do that. So we need a power meter. That's the first thing. We can't build it. Damn. So we can't build it because we're going to need some more plates. So, you know, that's definitely going to be something we want as the next thing is building there. If nothing else, then we can make it useful for that. Well, anyway, I think that this is a good time for us to wrap up this episode. What we did was we tap this location, we get the power, we got the whole power connection, we got haulers going, we have survived bad tides, we have a cool way of handling bad tides, and now this actually doesn't need to be here anymore. We are now ready to sort of expand out. We have our little enclave, but it can't really support more than about 50 beavers, and also biters, 50 beavers, and then we'll need to figure out how to expand out here. Definitely the next thing we want to do is explosives, because then we can start terraforming the world to our pleasure. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this series. I hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, take care and stay effective.